Hi, Zizaran here with another update video. Wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been doing the past days and like update on the characters I've been trying to do. So the last time I made an update video, I started talking about the Whispering Ice character. I was currently playing it as the Blade Blast character. My last character died, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. So the VD is dead. It just wasn't enough. I feel like I'm missing like a lot of the jewels, the Delirium jewel. I can't remember the names of any of them. Also the conversion jewels, like I think I'd want to get up to like 1.5 or 2k int to make Whispering Ice better. And I'm not saying it's impossible in SSF, but I wasn't able to make it work. So but yeah, I'm basically scrapping the Whispering Ice character. And let's look a little bit about the death I had here. So aside from the level 40 rip to spacing out, I think it was during comb or something, like level 30. Can't remember, but either way. I died there, and then this was my first, I would say, proper rip. And yeah, let's just watch it. Mostly Dave Card stuff, I think. Now, I was very, very surprised because I hadn't seen anyone die to harvest. I hadn't seen anyone struggle to harvest. Nobody in my chat had been like, oh, harvest is so rippy. It was pretty much nothing that really killed you. Now, obviously, so this is more of an exception to this. And even on top of something being rippy, this is one of the tankiest characters I've had in a while. I want to go over the defenses of the characters. So I did have 78 max stress. 78, 77, 77 actually. 5 endurance charges. The potions is like a granite, and the quartz has 100% armor. That had like 15 or 18k armor, which is not a huge amount, but it definitely helps on top of all the other defenses. I've got 75 spell and attack block. Obviously they don't help if damage does go through, and it's glancing blow, so half the damage does go through and get mitigated anyway. On top of that, I have Molten Shell active here. So this character has, just in raw life, 9.3k or 9.4k life, plus all those mitigations. And obviously the block that a lot of the damage won't go through. And it also has 10% or 12% dodge on top of that. So a very, very tanky character. Now, in hindsight, I can't really die to this again. Well, this is more of a fluke incident. With obviously the Hydras actually do a lot of damage, but there's 3 aura monsters in this deck. There's speed, accuracy, and sub-fizz. And I do get obliterated in basically 2 hits. So from what we calculated, 1 hit is 8.6k damage. And then the second finishes me off. There was actually very few negative comments about this rip, because obviously it's a bit crazy, and most people know that Harvest is a very, very safe league. As soon as I first saw Harvest as mechanic, I did say, wow, somebody's gonna stand still and get obliterated to this. But the more and more I played Harvest, I was like, never mind, it's not a dangerous mechanic. Now, at least with like the tier 2 blues, I would probably just stand way further away when it starts and then come in so they don't all attack at the same time. For those of you who haven't been watching, I've been doing like loads of tier 2 fields. And even several tier 3s. Haven't done a tier 4 yet. I was making a separate boss healer for that. I've just never taken damage. So obviously that leads you into a false sense of security, and then something like this can happen. Unlike a feedback to GGG now, I do think it's very, very odd that nearly everything that they add to the game that does attack at the same time, whether that be they just, this league removed the hunter mobs all like doing joint attacks, devourers, and like I feel like there's so many of these things that they're always like, oh yeah, we'll remove it. So I'm a little surprised, like, why do they add it in the first place? Just don't have the same, don't have a pack activate all at the same time. Yeah, I just wanted to like go over and explain the death a little bit. I just want to have like an update on how the last few days have been. After that, I made a anime weapon character. Actually, first I made a dominating blow character, but then I just suddenly was like, wow, I really want to play anime weapon. And I want to talk a little bit about this character. This is something I want to revisit, but I do want more gear. So this is anime weapon. I hadn't started doing everything, and it was only level 78, but it was using Bladefall to get weapons, and then you can do, I did Unleash for a while too, but they do last for a while, so while summoning throughout the map, it does do quite a lot of damage. Now, you do get 16, and with everything up, already at level 78, I think I had 1.1 million damage. The goal that I wanted to get to was like 8 million, because then it can be very, very spicy against bosses where you do have a wind-up time. Actually, this would even be good against the Awakener and stuff, I hope, but I thought it was a pretty cool character. So the concept, I'm actually using Oro Sacrifice that I'm wielding. Now, what does this do and why are we wearing it? Well, I had a Rallying Cry buff effect helmet, and obviously with so many minions, Rallying Cry is always going to be at full buff effect pretty much. So that means that I'm getting 40 plus whatever buff effect I have of my weapon damage added to every weapon. So that means you're getting like, I can't remember the exact calculation, but it was like 200 to 310 flat fire damage to every single minion that I have. And then that gets further scaled by all the minion damage we have and everything. I did play around with like General's Cry and stuff, but didn't really like it. So I wasn't really done with this, and I was really enjoying it. At a bit of an active, very, very active character to play and a bit clunky. I did want to get Call to Arms, and it was converting to fire using EE. And I have like the Cold and Lightning there, so that Bladefall does Cold and Lightning damage. And EE's fire. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really, really fun. I definitely want to go back to it. Maybe with Chains of Command so I don't... Actually, I can still wield an Oros, but it's a lot less defensive. But I thought it was a really, really cool concept of using Rallying Cry and a big beefy weapon. I would love a Disfavor as well to try that and then maybe Impale. But some cool stuff there that you can do that I really enjoyed. And this character died to me just being stupid and not paying attention. I basically choose to read chat at exactly the wrong time. So you can see that my face is looking at my other monitor. I'm basically just trailing the explosion. So that was my second death of this league. Thankfully I haven't died a lot this league. Then after that I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make another character that I really enjoy playing off stream, so I have something to play while I on voice calls and stuff with people. So I made a Spellslinger, a Chaos Spellslinger for the first time. Something I initially didn't even think could work because there's so much counter synergy. But it was great. It was really, really fun. This had a very, very, very sad death. I'm not... A lot of people said that it's because of Vulcan. But this is a thing that's been in Path of Exile for 4 years. Now, normally the way this bug works is if a spell effect... If you either run off screen or that it starts off screen, then it will be invisible. This has been in for 4 years. It might be amplified by Vulcan having missing character model somehow. I don't particularly think this is the case because you already see Stampede slightly earlier in this clip, and I like avoid it. Obviously, I also don't take that much damage from it. But basically, what happens here is that somehow, around the time that it dies, this monster casts Stampede, and it's a Metamorph, and it casts Stampede, and you can see it's an incredible amount of damage. And because I can't see it, I have no way of reacting. I have full potions because there's no reason for me to go like, why would I have potions up? I just killed the monster. Now, personally, I believe the best solution to something like this is no character. I don't like on death effects. I want them to make monsters way more dangerous while they're active. I'm all in favor of that, especially consistently dangerous, so you're aware of it. I'm not a big fan of spikes either. Very, very consistently dangerous monsters like tier 19 maps, which you can achieve by getting the Awakener Watcher's Eyes from the Awakener. Not Watcher's Eyes, the Ivory Watchstones. That's like my favorite thing in the game. They're consistently difficult. Just all of it is very dangerous. You're very like high alert on hardcore. The maps are incredibly scary the entire time through. You're very aware that you're doing something dangerous and there's high risk, high reward. So not a big fan of on-death effects. Not a big fan of spiky damage. And I feel like everything like this is instantly like, if whatever, like aside of obviously there shouldn't be invisible shit in the game, but aside from that, if every effect just ended as soon as the monster ended, this would have been avoidable. So this was really sad. I honestly didn't really lose anything crazy. The only thing was like a 80 spell damage plus 1 chaos life shield, which is very easy to make guaranteed in this patch. And I'll make some like gear harvest crafting videos as well. I'm going to be remaking the exact same character. I didn't lose a shit ton of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Been a bit of a rough past 2 weeks. But I hope you guys are enjoying the streams. I feel like they've been a lot better than normal. And a lot better than Delirium. Hope you guys are enjoying them. And yeah, I'm going to continue pumping out the YouTube content. So thanks for watching. Hope you like these updates and try to die less than I do.